we could not have a state final show without having the Division III matchup that's going to take place on Saturday night. Oftentimes, the last game of the football state finals ends up being the best game of the state finals, and we certainly have a very, very intriguing matchup between Muskegon and Orchard Lake St. Mary.
Yeah, and this might be the best. I think coming into the 8 games, that's what, if I had to take one that I think that would be the best well-played game by both schools and tightly contested, and not knowing really, I really went back and forth on who I picked on this game. And granted, I think the Division I and the Division II are have a lot of drama there.
Yes.
But this one with St. Mary's, and now with Muskegon moving from 2 to 3, it really puts a different spin on things, because you didn't, they've always competed in 2, losing those tight ones to Brother Rice and whatnot, and winning them in the late 2000s with Tony Anise head coach.
Yep.
This is really...
He's doing a fine job at Ferris State, I must say.
They're rolling it up there. I love this matchup. I think this would be great if you could have a matchup like this in all 8 games.
Yes.
And for the cut to the chase, I'm going to go with Muskegon. And one of the reasons is the fact they were accustomed always to playing in Division II playoffs. In Division III, it's close. We talked all season about how tough Division III is, and it was throughout the playoffs. Not so much for St. Mary's, but for Zeeland West, you look at the run they had to make, and then losing to Muskegon in the semis. I'm going with the Big Reds. I think they're going to have the big crowd behind them. You have 3 Muskegon schools there. Muskegon Catholic, you have Muskegon Mona Shores. I think just the whole Detroit downtown flavor will be a Muskegon football fest.
Right.
So I'm going with the Big Reds.
All right. If it was not for Brother Rice, what would Orchard Lake St. Mary's record be?
13-0. If it wasn't for Mona Shores, Muskegon would be undefeated too. So you look at the teams that they lost to, these 2 teams. I mean, Brother Rice. I mean, many people still think they were one of the best teams, if not the best team in the state, even though they got beat by De La Salle in the playoffs. But Mona Shores, their only loss was to Rockford 10-7. So, and they've beaten some great teams, Mona Shores. So.
I'll tell you what, we followed Orchard Lake St. Mary's for a long time. We've seen Port in his programs. They had a swagger this season from the start of this season.
You made mention of that fact that they're playing with a little chip on their shoulder. They
really do, and they come in with a lot of confidence. I speak to what really turned the tide for me in terms of becoming a real believer in the Eaglets this season was the game when they went to Wayne State to play De La Salle. And this was a game that De La Salle, I believe, was just coming off the Brother Rice loss.
Could have been, yes.
Right at the end. And they came out there, they were loose, they were loose, they were inspired, they were ready to play, and they had the ball at the end, they took it down the field, and they won the game. And, it was a stretch across the goal line. The ball got knocked out, like several of the balls that went in, actually touchdowns got knocked away right at the end. It was a little controversial. But again, they pulled it out. And I think this is a team that just finds a way to pull it out. They were at Ford Field for the Prep Bowl and fell in that one. I don't think they want to feel that sting again. I think this team is prepared. They're ready to go. I'm going Orchard Lake St. Mary's.
Yeah, I got Muskegon by 2, but you think about St. Mary's, and I saw that Brother Rice game at Ford Field, and it was obviously an evenly matched game. It came down to the last play, and St. Mary's outgained Brother Rice in the game, and for much of the game they outplayed Brother Rice, but they couldn't finish the deal.
Right.
And I really like their offense. They have, they like to power the ball, but when they need to, Brendan Tabone, the junior, can really, I think in that game he might have been 11 out of 12 or something like that passing. He's really done well, kind of under the radar too. But people are telling me, the Catholic League people and other people that played St. Mary's, they said, Tom, you're talking about their offense. It's their defense.
Tyson Smith and that secondary, they are really good.
That's really the strong unit for them. So.
Right. And again, we'll see. And you know what? Muskegon's got a monkey on their back when it comes to Ford Field as well the last few years. I think both teams are really going to have something to play for. I think this really will be a phenomenal contest. And who knows? We might see something like we saw a few years ago with some overtime.
Stay there until midnight.
I know, please. I don't want to see that either. But it is Orchard Lake St. Mary's, right? So.
And it is Division III. Right. It is the last game of the year.
It is.
Which always seems to have the most drama.
And again, that battle that they had just a couple of years ago with Grand Rapids South Christian, one of the best high school football games you could have watched. They just came out on the losing end. I don't think they do that here. We shall see.